Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the dreaded D-Rose report. I don't know if you've heard all of this or not, but there's been lots of releases in WWE. Started with, of all things, Mickie James, Katie Lea, Shelton Benjamin, Grandmaster Jay, and Jimmy Wang Yang, and announced today the release of Mike Knox. So, I don't know, Knox has been on kind of the main roster, you know, ever since the first, when he first showed up on the ECW brand, but, boy, and to let you know, I have not been released by WWE. Haven't been grabbed by him either. I'm waiting. WWE has came to terms with Mike Knox as of the 22nd and said we wish him the best in the future in all his endeavors, and especially getting in the unemployment line. Shortly after announcing the release of the 6 superstars, including Mickie James and Shelton Benjamin, WWE deleted all of their profiles from the WWE Universe website. Mickie James, Paul Burchill, among others, Paul Burchill, James and Burchill, among others, were all part of the social networking, I guess, website. In addition, WWE removed James and Mickie Wang Yang from their following list of Twitterers. Jimmy Wang Yang was amongst 5 of the released yesterday evening, and Wang Yang hit the Twitter airwaves prior to being released, announcing that he sent this out on his Twitter account: 3 strikes and you're out. I hear Florida is a nice place to visit. So maybe he didn't pass the drug test. I think that might be what he's talking about. I'm not sure. It's kind of a read into that. Alright, SmackDown taping for July 13th is going to be held in Louisville, Kentucky. Save up your money. Tickets go on sale May 15th on Ticketmaster. Goldust has joined the Twitter world. He just found out that there is one. He's slow. A story on FWOnline.com claims that Mickie James was released in part due to problems from the recent European tour. According to the report, James was late for the bus on multiple occasions, and her tardiness held transportation up each time. The issue was considered the straw that broke the camel's back for Mickie, on whom management had soured on in recent months. If you don't give them the, like 100% or so, they can tell, when you're wrestling or whatever. Maybe people get burnt out, like Vince Russo. Anyway, James's release has been expected going back several months, with rumors stemming from the demotion to SmackDown and then the Mickie James angle. Both in part were kind of traced to management unfavorable view of her standings, and now it's finally come all the way around. Hey, this is kind of weird. Rob Zombie is tentatively scheduled to guest host June 28th Raw edition of Raw, which takes place in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, I think. Anyway, Zombie's participation has not been announced or confirmed at this point, but it's believed that the deal is done. There are also discussions that WWE is pushing hard for Pamela Anderson, no pun intended, to do an upcoming episode of Raw. She can't hardly see her feet, I like to see her feet. Upcoming WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 video game have options for all the current pay-per-views in it. WWE recently hired 35 new employees, probably why they had to get rid of the other ones, the wrestlers of all things. Anyway, to sort through their video library to make sure everything is in order and correctly cataloged to start up the new network. And details of the new network still remains kind of scarce, but they're targeting for a launch date of within 18 months, I guess. Following match is going to be on tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. The show marks the final WWE appearance of Mickie James and Mike Knox, who are both released, like I said yesterday. World Champion Jack Swagger takes on John Morrison, non-title match. When there's a non-title match, you always know that the champion's going to lose. Matt Hardy and R-Truth takes on Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler. JTG takes on the late Mike Knox. the late Mickie James, and Beth Phoenix versus Michelle McCool and Layla, CM Punk versus and Luke Gallows versus Rey Mysterio and Kane. Jericho and Edge, they show up too. Wrestling Observer newsletter says there's been talk and sure changes this year to WWE Draft more than any of the years in the past. Nobody seems to know what the plans, but that's normal, and even the top guys aren't told, that they're moving until shortly before the draft. Because I don't think creative knows up until then either. Batista is said to be a candidate to be moved depending on his contract talks with WWE. Orton and Cena is expected to go to SmackDown, but neither of these moves are confirmed. Edge and Jericho is expected to be sent to Raw, especially since their feuds seem to be coming to an end at Extreme Rules, maybe. I think they're going to send some high-profile people over to SmackDown myself. This is what I'm saying. Because they're going to be, they'll be doing it soon, this fall, when they go to Sci-Fi. They have to get us all over there to the Sci-Fi channel. Program that on the damn thing. As noted before, TNA has hired a consulting firm to look at their TV numbers and interview fans for feedback. That's a great move. The memories of fans from, from fans in 18 to 34 demographics of ECW is said to be strong positive. Based on that research, Eric Bischoff is interested in doing ECW-like stable in TNA. The idea would be have Paul Heyman as the leader of the group, and the guys like Tommy Dreamer, Team 3D, Taz, Stevie Richards, Raven, Rob Van Dam, Mick Foley will all return with, with new storylines. There are conflicts reports on Heyman, though. Some close to him believe that there's a chance of him coming to TNA. Others said they don't believe it's going to happen as a talent or a writer. Heyman has been talked about a lot in the recent Impact tapings backstage. Heyman's currently working on 2 different books, and one being autobiographical. As soon as those books are done, he's going to be wanting to get on somebody's show, if be all of them, to promote them. But, why don't you ask Heyman? Instead of suspect, and all that. People magazine had a blurb about Ryan Phillippe hosting Raw this past week with the cast of MacGyver. Phillippe met one of his childhood idols backstage at the show, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And it's been said that rumors that Joey Mercury is going to be joining Punk's Straight Edge Society has not been confirmed, but and Mercury told people last year when WWE re-signed him, he had plans that was to join the group. In addition to Mercury sporting a shaved head, he wears jeans similar to what John Cena wears. I don't know what that big deal is. And regarding Mercury's dark match this past week, he wasn't even suited up to wrestle when they told him just a few minutes before the match that he had to perform. This may explain the jeans look, so maybe he might have some trunks, who knows. The name of Chris Jericho's second autobiography will be Undisputed: How to Become the World Champion in 1,372 Easy Steps. Right now the book is set to be released in February 2011. Must be a lot of... I wish somebody just get really down and dirty on some of their books and make everybody mad. WWE's NXT Michael Tarver knockout gimmick has been dropped because his feeling is infringing on Big Show's punch. And it is. Find your own finisher. Despite the feuding still being hot, there's been talk that ending the program between Punk and Mysterio, if WWE ends it this coming Monday's draft, might have something to do with Punk going to Raw. Alright, and WWE is going to be releasing a book about the various WWE championships on November 30th. It's going to be a 320-page book written by Kevin Sullivan, not the former WCW star. Anyway, the winners of Sheamus versus Triple H this coming Sunday's Extreme Rules pay-per-view will join the chat room at WWE's website following the match. Hey, let me know in the comments if you think that was a good move on all the releases WWE did. Whether it was good, bad, should they have gotten some other people in there, or should they have kept so-and-so? Just let me know in the comments down below. What you think? I gotta go.